Right. Hello everyone. Welcome to Pathologic 3 Quarantine. I have been waiting a little while to play this. And obviously it released last week, so everyone else who's really excited for it has probably already played it through and streamed it for themselves. Or watch someone else play it for themselves. But here I am after a week or so of being quite sick. I'm excited to play it. I've managed to avoid basically any spoilers at all, which I'm really pleased with. And basically, we're just going to watch it and play it through and hopefully have a good time. I'm hoping I got my head screwed on. I've got about 4 hours of sleep. So we'll see. We'll see if I can make sense of anything that is going on. Probably not. But that's just normal at this point. I'm going to Pathologic 3 with the right mindset, with 4 hours of sleep, I think, and having just emerged from an illness. There's no better time to play it. Let's give it a go. Hope everyone's doing well as well. So I guess I'll play Pathologic 3 Quarantine, and then I'll start going back to Pathologic 2, and we'll play that through finally on stream. That'll be fun. But I'm very excited for this. I've heard good things sort of in the periphery, but again, I have managed to refrain from hearing any spoilers or anything like that. So the capital, where the bachelor returned in disgrace after the step town perished. This is our first glimpse of this. Press Q to see that which is worthy of your attention. Okay. Good little highlight function. We're in the Thanatica, are we? Day 12, I presume. Hello. Whose reflection are you? Can't remember the name nor the face. They are human too. Okay, so another healer maybe? Someone died here. There's nothing here. A fellow of infinite jest, of most excellent fancy. Okay. I quite like the text sort of randomly swirling around like that. It's a cool effect. Okay. There's a glide here.
I'll follow you through hell, but not high water. If it gets to high water, that's on you.
Seraphima. Why aren't you at the interrogation yet, Bachelor? You're supposed to be there already. They told me it's not an interrogation. Actually, they just want to talk. I'm a witness, not a suspect for now. We'll pretend we know what's going on.
Birdie hops along the path of doom, yet sings its song.
Hang on, Chief. Did they summon you because of Thanatica? Will the order to shut down the laboratory Will the order to shut the laboratory down be revoked? Postponed? No, I believe I was summoned because of the sand plague. They fear the epidemic might have already spread here to the capital. Spectator. So you're that doctor who first discovered this deadly epidemic, this dirt disease. Is it true that it killed off a whole step town in a week? 25,000 dead? Listen to me. All of this is just hearsay. Please leave our director alone. He has important work to do. And you, Chief, should hurry off now. Your appointment is at 8. No, answer me this, since you're the one in charge. Is it true or not? You said this disease was already in the capital? Not exactly 20,000, strictly speaking. Fewer. And there were 417 survivors. A scant, but non-zero amount of hope. Okay, so the asterisk ends the thing here. Oh. Tyrant from the void has arrived, I suppose. We all just stood there and watched that happen. It's fine. I'm interested to see how they sort of play with actually having multiple characters in some dialogues. Sort of It will stop things feeling so immediately just sort of oppositional, right? One idea against another. Now we can have other ideas included as well. So it'll be interesting to see how that unfolds. Alright, day 8, in which the Bachelor says farewell to hopes and tries to flee the doomed step town. Okay. Looks just as I left it a couple of weeks ago. You can go no further. Quarantine. Enough coring. It was I who set up the quarantine in the first place. But yeah, I'm so tired of running into obstacles that I created myself. I feel that. I didn't recognize you at first glance. You've changed quite a bit after a week in our town. Yaviast, are you speedrunning this? Day 8 already? Damn right I am. Blind playthrough, and I'm already, of course, the best player in the world. But there was never any doubt of that, of course. I'm Savakriminets, number 72, last of the Volunteer Orderlies Corps. Since you're here, consider this my resignation. I do not accept your resignation. There is still hope. You promised to save our town, but all you leave behind are ashes and graves. What lies ahead of you is not the step, but a fog of uncertainty. So where will you go now, O man who lost to death? There's a distinct smell of creosote. There's a railroad nearby. People whisper rumours that the only doctor in town plans to abandon them, to flee. The most fortunate, the survivors, already plan their own escapes. Could they be saved? Yes, I'll take them to the capital. I need witnesses. I couldn't save them with medicine, so I will by other means. Each decision leads to regret the next day. Each step, the abyss. How can one sleep after that? Seems I am in a waking dream what screeches out in the steppe, and that shadow that almost touches the sky. Nightmares multiply in darkness. It's their nutrient medium, just like blood for a plague. I still have some matches on me. I'll find a way to fend off the darkness. I like this. I'm not afraid of nightmares. Reality is much more horrific. The light of salvation burns and then fades. Like hope. Like someone's life on a hospital bed. Do you think you'll manage to escape? She already follows you, trying to reach you. She won't just let you leave. Who is she? The plague? You're a fool, Bachelor Dankovsky. Conscience! Of course it's conscience. You cannot run from your conscience, not even on a train. No, you'd be lucky to even board that train alive. And what form your conscience assumes, that is on you and your broken imagination. You imply that I imagine that horrific silhouette, the hallucinations of a guilty conscience. It's likely just neurosis. Come back to where you came from, Doctor. Try to become your old self again. Just don't forget the matches. Thank you, 72, if it's really you, for your volunteer service. You too did all you could. Okay. Strike and throw a matchstick. Alright. Is that meant to be the Shabnak? In some form? One of its many forms, maybe? Have you played this yet, Yaviast? As I said, I sort of feel like I'm the last person in the community to end up playing this. I'm getting some... just from lighting matches. What did I play on stream that was like this? Amnesia Rebirth. That wasn't a good time. Actually, maybe I shouldn't compare the two. I have not. Aiming for the last Pathologic 3 player title myself. Damn, okay, yeah. I'll let you have that one then. Feels weird to finally be playing it, having emerged from an illness myself. I don't know whether it's... I definitely still have a scratchy throat as well. But I feel like... I'm not sure how long this is meant to be. 2 hours or so? My voice should last through that, I think. Okay. Try am I going? I like the music. The soundtrack is good as usual. Very ethereal. What's going on up here? Another rock. Okay. Just exploring the environment. The dense fog. Can the Bachelor jump? The Bachelor cannot jump with space, anyway. Okay. We'll run back to the train. We'll follow the train tracks up, I suppose. If there is anything that we can do this way. I wonder how many matches I have. Guess I'll follow the train tracks. I'm not sure what else I can do. There we go. Okay. That didn't go so well for me. Then again, when does it ever? Okay, day 8 again. Which the Bachelor says farewell to hopes and tries to flee the doomed step town. Okay, so I did it wrong. I shouldn't have wandered that far. Hold Q. Beasts and death are scared of fire. It doesn't burn for long. Is Amara of the marshes a beast or a death? Okay, so I gotta keep it away from me using the fire. Can I home it on again? Can't smell anything because of the step herbs, and my head keeps swimming. So we've got actually some evolving thoughts going on in this sequence, which is cool. The last game I remember playing that had accessible thoughts like that was Heavy Rain. I really don't like Heavy Rain, so... Okay, time to figure out what it was that I did wrong. Is this still... Okay. As long as Dankovsky isn't keeping anything from me. Just like the guy in Heavy Rain, that's fine. Okay. Okay. Clearly there's something I missed around the train. Can I get in? I can. I'm going to be ill. The stench. Out, out. I can get in, but I don't think there's anything to see in here, is there? No. Okay. But that was where I need to go. Okay, I didn't need to get into the train. Maybe? Or I'll just get murdered again. Okay. Fair enough. Okay, no, I need to get murdered in that fashion. The day before, in which the Bachelor leaves the capital to venture to the edge of the world. Alright, so it's so weird to sort of finally have this space defined by the developers. Because this is... the capital sort of doesn't really need to exist in a certain sense in the previous games, but now we have it as a playable space, so that's interesting. They feed on blood. We used to keep Calyptra thalictrae here, but the simple fragile butterflies that feed on flower and light were stronger. Looks like someone's at the door, but I'm going to be busy. I have challenged this unfortunate phenomenon. We are dying every minute of our lives. An undoubtedly surmountable phenomenon. Classic Bachelor. Hang on, I'll be with you in a minute. Butterflies everywhere, the classic symbol of rebirth, right? We've made great progress in calculations of human life, but failed to calculate a course in academia that would be acceptable for the powers that be.
Need to do the reverse transcriptase test again. Pretty sure we missed the heat mark in the 4th series.
Do you hear those peculiar footsteps on the stairs? Ominous footsteps. I think they're coming for us. There must be a lot of stairs they're going up. If they catch you here, there's no telling what might happen. You could even be arrested.
Point on this though, huh? We're running terribly low on mice, and the mice themselves are a little feeble, lacking in enthusiasm.
Do I have to add both of these characters to the Pathologic character analysis series that I'm doing? Platon. Shall I continue? The ruling goes on. Orthanatica, the nation's only laboratory specializing in novel life extension techniques, comes across as a pseudo-scientific wild goose chase. The so-called effective immortality project. Enough. I'm sick of it already. Wild goose chase. That gaggle of ossified dotards. Hello, Knockout Lindo. How's it going? Oh, but there's more. Has, according to a number of scientists, including Voronin, Ziegler, and Villanovich, achieved significant breakthroughs. We can skip this part. There, in view of the academic council deeming it to lack any prospects whatsoever, the only rational course of action would be to suspend the research, transfer the laboratory to the purview of the Chemistry Institute, and dismiss its staff. I can recite it from memory by now. Perhaps you could retell it in verse, Platon. It would calm you down and put things in broader perspective. I'd sooner lose a wife, an arm, and an eye than Thanatica. And why does it have to be now? We just got a cellular level reaction. You don't have a wife. Given the way you live, you never will. Fine. No wife, so just make it both eyes or both arms. After all, I've got you and Platon. I'll do just fine with just my head. Actually, there is still hope, Bachelor, if we present them that immortal man from the central step. What was his name? Shine? Ivan? Kane. Simon Kane. No time, colleagues, no time. They're already climbing the stairs. Dankovsky, you need to run. There'll be no commission while you're gone. We can stall the proceedings. Go and fetch us an immortal. Right away. We'll tell them that you're away on that trip. For once the red tape will play into our hands. We'll stall. Reports, audits, you name it. An appeal if all else fails. But if they find you, they'll convene and force us to testify, and we won't be able to wriggle out of it. I agree. If you leave before you're handed the ruling, it's their fault for missing you. But if you wait until afterwards, that's obstruction. They won't miss a chance to hold it against you. They'll use whatever pretext they can. They will anyway. But what about you two? Bah, what would they want with us? You're the big-name scientist, so act like it. You're the one they need, and that Shine person is just who you need. I'm not leaving you here. No, for God's sakes. Platon, shall we toss him out the window? That's it, they're here. Hear those voices? They must be deciding whose head is hard enough to batter down the door with. Get out. The eastbound train departs at 4:15. You can make it, right on time. Fine. I'll go. Oh wait, one last thing. Have a look at this while you're on your way. You've been promising to for 3 months already, but you never found the time. It's a tool for studying tuberculosis, the air humidity thing, remember? Kaufman, Gorski, Anna Stein. Hello, Windshield. Yes, I finally got around to it after recovering from a bit of an illness. And as you know, I'm running on very little sleep, so I think it's the perfect way for me to experience this, to be honest, in a absolutely complete haze. It's nice to get around to it. I was really hoping to stream it on the day, but that just didn't eventuate, sadly. Right, those postgraduates with their heads in the clouds. It's long past time we got rid of them. It isn't. They spent 6 months putting this together. It really does respond to humidity, temperature, and air composition. We've tested it on dust. We have more pressing issues right now. Case in point, when his report S-104 come in? You know, the cytological. Is he trying to be funny or what? Get out, Chief. Use the back door and don't come back without your immortal. Good luck. Thank you. Okay, we got the prototype viewfinder, I guess. Those guys taking very long.
Continue to normalize death.
Wait, just one more thing. So, we are no longer in a hurry. Take care of yourself, Chief. You're so reckless. Head always in the clouds. You don't really know how to fend for yourself, do you? Do you even care about yourself? Oh, what's the worst that could happen? We're all doomed without you. Come on, it'll be alright. Enough of this. Are you armed? Why, I'm armed with my vast intellect and a quick wit. As long as I can open my mouth, they won't know what hit him. That's quintessential bachelor right there. Daniil, are you armed? Seraphima, do you really believe the steppe is such wild country? Please, just take it with you. It will come in handy. Best I can do is point it at someone and pretend it's loaded. Might not work on the bears, though. Well, at least point it then. You can be very persuasive sometimes, Chief. Best of luck to you and Platon, Seraphima. Alright. Just gonna brandish this, are we? Okay. I love this music. This will surely see me through some writing sessions.
Freeze!
Hang on. Yeah, that's what I thought. You didn't even pack your guns. Away I go. Okay, so an intimidate function. Wonder how often that's going to come into play. It's the kind of thing I think I was expecting in Pathologic too, so with the muggers, they were never dissuaded by the fact that you had a gun, from my recollection. Okay, here we are. Yes, this is Thanatica. Let's get out of here.
I'm Daniil Denkovsky, Bachelor of Medicine. My research into the limits of human life has brought me renown. I've devoted all my energy and remarkable intellect to combating the greatest fear that binds humanity, the inevitability of imminent death. Seeking proof of my theories, I traveled to a small, steep town to examine a person of phenomenal longevity, Simon Kane. But I walked into a trap. The moment I arrived there, an unknown disease struck the town. It devoured the town like a wildfire. Its contagion and lethality surpassed anything humanity had ever faced. And I became the only doctor standing in the way of this unprecedented pestilence.
Yeah, thanks for that windshield and knockout Lindo. I sort of also have vague memories of sort of the mechanic being brought up. Grief mentioning it when he's in the cathedral, that does sound right. But yeah, that doesn't actually happen in the game. Remember them giving up and putting their hands up, but mechanically we were never encouraged into letting them go. It's been a long time since I've given Pathologic 2 like a proper playthrough where you sort of do everything rather than just me like skipping to get to the bit I need to get footage from. So that's next on my streaming agenda, which will be fun. It's sort of hard to imagine a game. I can't think of many games that actually encourage sparing your enemies that I have played. Okay, we're sitting down.
Reverence for hierarchy, idolatrous veneration, and other useful life skills.
Let's go back to your testimony, Bachelor Dankovsky. Testimony. So this is an interrogation, a preliminary investigation. Let's try to remain level-headed. The ministerial inspection of your lab, Thanatica, began in early September. Your presence was required at all times. Instead, you dashed off across the country to a backwater town to bring back what might be described as, yes, an immortal man. Yes. This town had an outbreak of some fever the scientific community had no knowledge of. As luck would have it, you were the only medical professional at the site of the event. You were forced to remain there since leaving was impossible. You led the effort to combat the epidemic and evidently took on some field research as well. Accurate so far? Accurate so far. You did not succeed. A complete failure. It goes without saying that one would be foolish to fault a medical specialist in a situation like yours. The remoteness, the lack of communication, the hostile environment, terrible conditions for scientific work. What doctor could possibly have succeeded in those? No one blames you. On the contrary, many stopped just short of saying I deliberately brought the infection to the capital. Perhaps I should have walled myself in with a lab report pinned to my corpse. Oh. This is cool. Now we're talking to ourselves. Or we're imagining what the other person is going to say to us. Besides, you're in a state of extreme exhaustion. Add to that the stress of the whole situation around your lab. Besides, that ordinance from last year. What? What? Did something surprise you? I suppose we can't rule out a setup. Too many coincidences. That letter about Simon lures me to the town. No one shows me Simon. The whole place locks down, trapping me. And while I'm left to die, Thanatica is destroyed just before a scientific breakthrough. My final hours are spent studying the sand pest. Crafty, I must admit. And then, yeah, like, I feel like this mode of discussion with the Bachelor is like analysing how the other person is seeing him, that's, you know, paranoid, worn out. I feel as if you no longer know who you are. I look at you and feel frightened, like I'm facing someone who isn't human. What do you want to know? What could I have done? Alright, my first idea was quarantine. I needed time to study the disease, so I isolated patients in their homes. No, I isolated entire districts. I tried to get at least a day ahead of it. It was spreading too swiftly. And of course I ensured that no one could leave the town. And the steps that you took only shortened the lifespan of the settlement. Ah, you refer to the popular discontent? I didn't need love from them, only discipline. A difficult surgery can't be performed on a resisting patient. That's why patients get tied up, held down, or anaesthetized. Every step I took was justified, or the town wouldn't have lasted those 7 days. You think so? Let's take a look at the timeline of your decisions, if you can call them that. Okay. Yeah, okay, cool, we got a mind map. His face is framed in a way that almost looks like he's wearing a Dankovsky mask. Sharp lighting cut off into shadow on the left side of his face. Just something I felt the first moment I saw it. I'd agree with that. I think that's a cool way to conceive of it, because I feel as though that is what they're trying to do as well. Make him be a, you know, transparently an actor that you're facing off against, a version of yourself that is speaking out of turn. The immortal man is dead. This whole stupid venture of mine turned out useless. Plague in town. Never seen such a disease before. This middle of nowhere town is doomed. They don't even have a hospital. Conspiracy. It's as if Simon Kane never existed. The powers that be lured me to this town. They knew it was approaching. They're using me. No more clues. Everyone who could know anything about Simon Kane's death, or if he even existed at all, is dead. No one to count on. The Inquisitor's arrival hasn't saved the town. It has at last broken its spine. The town is beheaded. No more rulers, no more heirs, and the inheritance will be gone any day now. The army is bringing in the cannons. The powers that be have already signed the death warrant. Is it your warrant, Dankovsky, or is it for the whole town? Eva Yan has taken her own life because of you, Dankovsky. Of course, it's because of you. Spares me mortis. The town's agony nears its final rest. The plague smiles on its ruins. That's such a good, I love that phrase, the plague smiles on its ruins. Death is victorious. Bachelor Dankovsky has suffered disgraceful defeat. And we can zoom in even further. Really, yeah, very well written as usual. What attracted me to these games in the first place. So we have sort of the whole game laid out in front of us. Settled in the still water. Polyhedron, an incredible tower. It's closed. Has no bearing on my task anyway. And we can follow the threads through. I guess there's like polyhedron related stuff here, is it? Saw one of the architects of the strange polyhedron tower being questioned. He chose to die rather than relinquish his blueprints. Guess that's the end of Peter. Kanes have no past. A relative of Simon was driven mad. The Elgimskis have no present. The owners of the town's main enterprise are convicted. The Inquisitor is a headsman. Half the town's elites imprisoned. Demo as a whole, this bit especially feels like it's specifically for the hardcore fan base. Definitely, I really think this is very cool. It's very nice to sort of be able to unpick all the events that have happened, and you can see how how it's all gone wrong. And you can imagine, the variations, the subtle variations on, what we've already played in the previous games. Sort of exactly how this all unfolds, even though we don't have the full details given to us here necessarily. Crowds and anarchy rule the town. Plague has burned almost everyone. Ava, the Stillwater's owner, the only ray of sunshine in this odious town, took her own life. What have you done, Dankovsky? What have you not? Sent in the army. Do they want your death, Dankovsky, or are they really ready to level down this town, this pest house? Trying to avenge someone, a local woman named Ravel killed the general. The army is mutinous. She succeeded. You can hear the polyhedron creaking, going to collapse under its own weight any minute now. The miracle tower tilts, cracks. So yeah, everything went to shit, obviously. Bachelor Dankovsky is dead, if we equal a man to the work of his life. Death is victorious, the town is dead. Death is victorious, the immortal Simon Kane is dead. Very cool. Yeah, I love this setup. The mind map as well. More games in general just need to use this mind map idea, because it sets out quests in such a logical, effective way, and it actually makes you want to read through every little bit. Crazy changeling, but the beatific girl who claims she's a saint is even worse. Disgracefully apprehended at the station, the trap is sprung. Maria Kana promised one of her friends would tell me about the town's fate, but all I found was some drunks mourning a corpse. The last witness, Stark Reuben, is dead. Okay. All absolutely hopeless.
My bird soars high with grace and cheer, but oh, what if it falls, my dear?
Well, why are you looking at me like that, as if you're saying this for the first time? No, not the first time. You showed me 2 hours ago, at the start of our conversation. Alright, let's look at the 5th day. Remember when you seemingly admitted the vaccine was possible? You had volunteers brought to you and inoculated them with sandpest. Are you still with me, Dankovsky? Look me in the eye. Are you here? I am here, but I'm certainly not with you. Whose testimony do you base this on? Who slanders my name? Look at that trembling lip. I won't be intimidated. I'm a doctor. A scientist, do you hear me? I've come back from a hell the phantasms of a nightmare could never portray, and I worked there as a doctor. Do you understand? A doctor. Not an exterminator or inquisitor, not a police inspector or army commander. I am a medical professional. I'm not trying to intimidate you, perished the thought. I'm sorry, I'm exhausted as well. You must have misunderstood me. Enough with that tone. Don't you grow tired of it yourself? Put this on record. That backwater didn't have a hospital. Understand? It did not have a hospital. But it did have a theatre, so I repurposed it somewhat into a hospital. I studied patients there. Creating a vaccine was the priority. That's what I did. I vaccinated people. You did that each day? Every day? Creating a vaccine isn't as simple as brewing a cup of tea. The disease mutated fast. The scientific community had never seen anything like it. I had to create a vaccine every day. Do you understand? A new one each time. All the while I had no equipment, no lab. I had to improvise new methods in a matter of minutes. A theatre. Let's talk more about the 5th day after you arrived. Vaccine making time, maybe, is it? Complete Act 1. Okay. Again, I'm not sure how many acts this has or anything like that. Day 5, in which the Bachelor winds up the people and has to rewind. Signor, you're here. On the stage once more, the man who made a hospital out of the theatre will have eyes on him aplenty. Do you know what the orderlies behind your back are whispering? I don't care about gossip, so long as it doesn't distract the orderlies from their duties. Your servants will be fine, Signor. Will you? They say you have a seesaw in your head. They picture you as a man atop a board, atop a barrel, gun in hand, aiming as you roll and teeter to and fro. Quit distracting me with idle chatter. Extremes, Signor. Extremes can kill you dead. One moment, might and apathy. The next, in mania, trying to do everything at once. You're caught between your pounding heart and your two hesitating feet. A man of impulse, yet sometimes paralyzed. That there is your seesaw. Fair enough criticism, but how else could I be? As we stand here in the old theatre, let me then play the doctor and prescribe balance, the golden mean. Though you may yet be swept to Scylla, or to Charybdis. And even now, what do you feel? As soon as you approach the sick, indifference and gloom begin to burden you. Stop so much talking with no practical use. Give me your impression of a prescription, if you fancy yourself a doctor. The strongest treatment is right here, the same we use to numb the hopeless sick. These drugs may work for you as well. But mind that as you take them, you become accustomed to them, and you'll need more and more each time. I didn't expect I'd be choosing between using medication on myself or on a patient. But there are other ways as well. A drink and a smoke, perhaps. Things you may not expect can stabilize you. To warm yourself by the fire, or wash yourself in cool water, even kicking a trash bin in frustration. You'll know what helps you best. You're a scientist, so experiment. Quite an experiment, measuring the psychological effect of kicking cans. I'll be sure to report my findings to the capital. And yet it wouldn't hurt to take some pills with you. Who knows what madness lies ahead. Take something from the hospital's supplies. Besides the other fronts you struggle on, there is a struggle within yourself, Signor. What could be harder? You could have just said, Medici curati ipsum. Okay. Alright. So let's see. Okay, so everything is labelled. Can we hover over things and get any more information about them? Not at the moment. What's our inventory look like? Okay. Not so much inventory management as perhaps Artemi had to deal with. More down to earth. Okay, casebook. All patients. Okay. Notes. Okay. There's a lot going on. Is there even a reason to talk? Apathy. If you think you're seeing something terrifying, it's always just people in masks. They're just people in masks. They'd pass for a Greek chorus if this were a tragedy. But it's all vaudeville. Okay. Don't need to talk to them then. What's this meter up the top doing? Patients must be questioned, examined, and their symptoms recorded in the casebook. Wait, so what actually is this? Mania, apathy. Okay, so I need more.
Think.
So I need more mania to talk to everyone? Is that what's going on? Causes irritation, just like everything in this damn place.
More thoughts.
Okay, yeah, so this is going up. Outer scale represents your mind state. Increasing mania is indicated by the scale going clockwise. Increasing apathy, couple of typos in there, counterclockwise. Avoid both extremes as they will hinder your health and abilities. Use consumables in your inventory to combat that. Inner scale is health. Okay. Okay. Right, now we can talk to people.
Yargachin. Still self-taught.
Looks broken. Erdim. Ooh, the miniscope's broke. I love that. What did you want with it, Barak? Made any major advances on that vaccine of yours? Went on. They say precision instruments help with that kind of thing. Alright, touche. You sure are quick with your snappy retorts. But let's not rehash that whole whose medicine works argument all over again. Have you managed to create a serum from your herbal infusions yet? Hey, colleague? I haven't yet, but I've figured out how to use them to boost people's immune response. Congratulations. I mean it. I've done the autopsies for you already. Numbers 1 and 3 had the gunk in their lungs. Number 2 had it in her bronchia. You saying it's pulmonary now? I'm not saying it's anything. I do the cutting, you do the thinking, right? I have my own storyline where I'm going to do what I deem right, and you'll only have a small part to play. What a bombastic way to put it, but I'll remember that and drop by your storyline sometime, though I doubt it will be useful. Yakov Little. Could it be yesterday's technique has proved to be the right one? As your assistant, it's my duty to inform you that among the recipients of yesterday's vaccine, there appears to be zero mortality. That is to say, no notifications so far. That doesn't really tell us anything yet, but let's assume at least some have avoided the infection. While you were away, I tried my hand at diagnosing using your procedure. Did you? I'm intrigued. So I noted down symptoms using your approach. I crossed off illnesses based on the principle of impossible combinations, but I didn't really get anywhere. You know, sometimes I try to think like you do, and give it my best try at that. I do this just so I can understand you a little, and I fail every time. The way your heads work is a complete mystery to me. Do you have the anamnesis? Look, why are you being so cold and snappy with me? I'm not a doctor, you know, just a one-time medical enthusiast. That was why I volunteered to help you. You're right, I'm sorry, and time's advancing still as we talk as well, as I select a new option. You're right, I'm sorry, I forgot myself for a moment. You see, I'm awfully tired. Barely slept at all for 3 days now. Let me walk you through this once more. I'm all ears, taking notes actually. I'll say it again. Getting the patient's medical history, or anamnesis, is your first priority. There are strictly 3 steps. Step 1, interviewing the patient. It always comes first. No matter how tongue-tied or confused they are, no matter how much they get wrong, the information is priceless. Even if they're straight up lying, it's still important. Just like if you're an investigator or a detective. But that's what they do, they lie all the time. All those people we interviewed yesterday and 2 days ago, not a word of truth from any of them. Step 2, the exam. This part requires your utmost attention. When we take note of anything suspicious, we do it in the context of what the patient has told us. Any trifling bodily detail, a scratch, a bruise, a birthmark, might turn out to be important. Got it. And step 3, if required, a careful inspection of the surroundings the patient lived in, especially when you feel they're being coy, evasive, hiding something. In a word, lying. Reticence is never without a reason. That's when it becomes a good idea to go and inspect their home. Talk to their neighbours and family. Always adds to the picture. Do you understand? But that takes loads of time and effort, and you keep saying we don't have a minute to waste. The only time to be hasty is when you're catching fleas, colleague. Okay, so we got these 3 here. I'm healthy, just so you know. I don't have anything. Why did they bring you here then? I had fever, that's why. 2 days of it for no reason. But I'm better now, and I had no scratches on my skin. No yellowing, no sandpaper scratches. No drought of the mouth. You're certain there was nothing on your skin. Sandpest manifests on the skin first, the fever comes later. Go ahead and examine everything, head to toe if you must. I won't be embarrassed. This is a question of life and death after all, and I'm not a young lady anymore. Where'd you used to live? Your house was cleared out after the infection came. People were sent wherever there was space. Comfort is a luxury right now. Some of us were lucky and ended up in an empty living room. Some got an attic or a cellar. Us? We were put in a boiler room. When it reached our street, they rounded up the whole caboodle of us to the isolation ward. A boiler room, you say? Was it turned on? Of course. The air was so stuffy in there. I tell you, but there was a silver lining. No sickness can survive that hellfire. Convincing, but I'll still need to examine you. Please undress there behind the screen. Okay. Patient must be examined and the symptoms added to the casebook. Open the casebook with Ian. This can also be done during the examination. Very pale skin. Really leaves her home, not much time in the sun. How far can we... Okay, we can just... back. Okay. Arms. Hematoma. She bumped into something, maybe it's a symptom. Should ask where the bruise came from. 1 minute will be spent examining each body part. Okay. Smoker, fever. Okay, wow. This is quite in depth, isn't it? Twirine syndrome. Okay, and we have these other people as well. So can we say hematoma or not? No. That's not an option, is it? No, okay. What else do we have? Nothing on your legs. Nothing on the legs. And nothing on the back of the legs, okay. I'll talk to her again. You done with the exam, doctor? Can I go now? Absolutely not. An examination with no questions asked can only happen at a morgue. Told you everything the last time, but if you say so, you're the doctor. Allow me to call my assistant in. I'll use your example to show him how to proceed during an appointment. He called Mr. Dankovsky. I'm here and ready to heed. So, Mr. Little, we have a patient here. She's claiming to be in good health, despite having had a fever a few days ago. Do take her word for it. Well, if she's had fever, there must be a reason for it, and we have to find it. Remember this, a patient's self-evaluation may be incorrect. That's why you must ask specific questions about the symptoms, about what's come up during the exam, and about the patient's circumstances in daily life. I think I get it, in theory. God knows how it plays out in practice. I'll demonstrate. Observe and learn, Mr. Little. I won't be around forever. The patient is running a temperature, in other words, a fever. Open my casebook, look up fever, and tell me, how many conditions is it listed as a symptom of? Influenza, burning fever, consumption, measles, tularemia. Can't even read the one after that. Absolute tongue twister. Sheesh, so many of them. 8 diagnoses fit the bill. It's a frequent symptom, which means you'll have to find others and narrow down the search. Then do it again and again, till you're left with just one verdict. This, Mr. Little, is what's known as a differential diagnosis. The name is self-explanatory. We differentiate between similar things to find the only correct solution to our problem. It's terrible. Let's get down to it. Then, you look pale, ma'am. Has your skin been like this since birth, or is this pallor recent? It's not like I get to look in the mirror a lot, living in a boiler room and all. I don't think I've ever been pale. Rich do-nothings are pale. Me, I'm a commoner. So pallor isn't typical for you. I'm marking that as a symptom. Mr. Little, add pallor to the fever in the record. What do we get? A mere 2 conditions, down from 8. It's like magic. A single symptom, pallor, eliminated 6 out of our 8 candidates. We're left with a choice of just 2. Where did this hematoma come from, my good lady? I mean the bruise over here next to your wrist. Did you bump into something? Or is there someone who batters you? Don't worry, there's nothing to be embarrassed of when seeing a doctor. I'm not embarrassed. A bruise? Well, that's news to me. I've never seen it before, and I can't remember anything like what you're talking about. I certainly wasn't beaten up. Must have bumped into something and forgotten about it with all the fuss. The boiler room is dark and cramped. That's probably where the bruise is from. Mr. Dankovsky, I'm seeing this hematoma, this fancy bruise on your list. Are you with us, Mr. Little? Pay attention. She doesn't remember how she got the bruise. She can only guess. The manual provides a more detailed description of the illness for a situation like this. What causes it, who's susceptible, etc. can give useful clues. I'm familiar with that. Susceptible means the high-risk groups, right? Practicing medicine takes more than checking symptoms against a list with a schoolboy's diligence. You have to bring your reasoning into it. Here's one way to do it. Tell me, my good lady, do you garden? Do you grow anything? Anything at all, from roses to cucumbers. Cucumbers? Roses? Not following you at all now, doctor. No, I've never liked digging and shoveling earth and all that. There, earth. Does the boiler room you've been relocated to have an earthen floor by any chance? That's right, it does have an earthen floor. The boiler room isn't really suited for living in, but in these times I'd be ungrateful to complain. How did you guess, Doctor, about the earthen floor? Earth. There was something about earth in the manual. Wish I could remember where. It's simple. All kinds of things can be found in your local soils, including microorganisms capable of disrupting circulation, hence the pallor. The bruises were not caused by trauma. A hematoma appears when blood vessel walls are damaged, either by an external force or, as in this case, an illness, and the infection can be contracted from this contact with Earth. We found our diagnosis. You're a genius, Mr. Dankowski. Stop it with the idolizing. In a couple more days you'll have gotten the gist of it at the very least. Bravo to you anyway. You are a true master of medicine. So the patient has the sand pest alongside... What's the other diagnosis? I've talked you through it all. You can finish it yourself. The symptoms are fever, pallor, and a bruise. Put them together and you'll get your result. What about me, Doctor? Where am I to go now? What happens next? You'll remain here under observation, and your blood will be used for the vaccine. Let's hope that everyone can benefit from this. Okay, and then... What, today? And we can zoom in. Okay. First of today's patients believes she's healthy but feeling well, proves nothing on its own. And... okay, time to diagnose. So I... wait for me here, I'll come back to you later. Loot the clock, okay. Notebook. Fever, paleness, hematoma. So I can't like highlight these. Do I have to read really carefully through this? Or skin redness, is that what I... Yellowing of the skin. Is there fever in here? Fever, yeah. Okay. Hematoma, right, hematomas are there. Okay, I see. And paleness. Paleness. I mean, does that just leave this? An infectious disease caused by microorganisms from steppe soil entering the bloodstream. Cases of airborne transmission are also reported but require confirmation. The infection leads to anemia, which can manifest as patient pallor, muscle weakness and weight loss. Occasionally, patients may experience localized bleeding and hematomas. Acute cases display burst capillaries on the eyes and high fever. Risk groups: peasant ploughmen, grave diggers, various types working with soil. Okay. Confirm the diagnosis, hold X. Okay. Right. Then, don't need to talk to her again. Is there even a reason to talk again? Okay, wait. Is that done? All clear here after the next patient. Okay, and now I've got to smoke some more tobacco, I guess, to even want to talk to someone.
But tolerable.
You gonna burn me? Where'd you get that idea? It's not exactly a secret. The whole thing is like putting out a wildfire. If someone's house is under suspicion, it's torched. If someone sneezes, the entire town district's sealed off. Sick and healthy folks alike. When there's doubt about a healthy person, it's the isolation ward. Then, those who do have the sand pest are marched off and burned. It's not true, we do nothing of the sort. Like hell you don't. Nothing of the sort, sheesh. You want to peek outside your study more often, Professor? I'm just a bachelor. Don't overpraise me. Mr. Tiny here told me I could be useful to you. Before I die, that is. Said you can find something inside me that slows the pest down. So go ahead, find it. What do you need? Do you want to draw some blood from me? Alright then. Where did they bring you in from? I walked here. From home. Caught it from my neighbours. Knew as soon as the skin on my chest started peeling away. So I waited a day. The neighbours' scream stopped in the middle of the night. Went to check on them in the morning. They were all dead. Me, though, I was alive and walking. Now I'm here. Why do you need to know that, Doctor? Might come in useful. What's your vocation? I'm a dyer. Been breathing in poisons for 5 years now. One day it's red, the next is blue, then yellow. Could that be why this fever of yours doesn't do me anything? That's not very likely. Take off your clothes. Let's do an examination. Peeling skin he mentioned. Unlikely to be the stone disease. Most likely eczema. Heartbeat's too fast, but that could be a personal trait. Can mark down rapid pulse. Eczema. Back. Okay, arms. Flip your arms over. Legs. Turn around. This is interesting. His skin has yellowed. Something wrong with the liver. I saw that before. Yellowing of the skin. Does that give us anything? Not necessarily. But this gives us hepatitis. Liver necrosis can be caused by viral infection. Can also develop in individuals who abuse alcohol or drugs. Okay. So I mean it's looking like that. I can't put it in just yet. I've got to back out first. Just see if he... Have you sorted it out, Doctor? Will I be useful in your remedies? My vaccine. It's a vaccine I'm working on, and please allow me a couple of clarifying questions so I can be certain of your diagnosis. It's the plague, of course. The sandpest thing in it. The plague, yes, but there's another condition that's prolonging your life. You said it yourself. Your neighbours didn't survive the night, but you're still holding up admirably. Well, blow me down. 2 ailments making me healthier than if I only had one. But you know best, Doctor. What did you want? To question me, right? Question all you want. Skin on your foot is yellowing. Liver conditions could cause this. Have you ever noticed anything like that? Yellowing on my foot? Let's dye, Doctor. I'm a dyer. The tub spilled once. Here's the burn. It's old and healed over time. Smaller and paler than before. Well then, thank you. This clarifies things. We can rule out liver disease then. Is that all, or have you got more questions? You complained that the skin on your chest was peeling? It was here, right? In the very middle. I knew right away. Skin turns nasty when you're plagued, right? Eczema, that much is obvious. Symptom can indicate one of 2 diseases. Now to tell them apart. Take another look at you. So if I get rid of the yellowing and say that they do have a rapid pulse, does that? Burning fever. Psychosis. Okay. I don't think I missed anything, did I? Just an old chemical burn scar. Okay. Burning fever. The only thing is eczema. Jaundice. Patient complains of pain in the liver area, which the patient isn't. Burning fever then. There's only 2 choices, right? We'll try that. There you go. Okay, last one. That's the story of my life and times up to the present moment. But why do you want all these details from me? Half hour's worth of talking, it was all besides the point. I thought you'd be interested to know why the sand pest can't get me, because I certainly find that fact interesting. I'd even say amazing. None of what you told me was beside the point. Everything was important, especially your chicken pox at age 6. You sure you're not overstating my importance, Doc? I'm not. And I'd rather you not call me Doc. But right, Olgimsky corked the termitory shut and you've been guarding it for, is it 6 days? Since Tuesday. This is the 3rd time you're asking me. May I ask why you distrust me, sir? Termitory is a town within the town. Almost 3,000 workers. So what did your authorities fear that made them lock up so many people inside? Who knows? First they said there'd been a blight of some kind of sweet soot. Settled on the walls later. Looked like mould. Well, the kin was worried. They're like bees in how they respond to things. As soon as one makes a noise, the rest are unquiet as well. There was a mighty buzz in the hive, perhaps on account of the poisonous soot. Conditions are tough at the cannery, you know. What's going on there now? They're shouting, lots of clamour, and a nasty kind of clamour too. It's what you'd expect. They're not having a great time stuck in there like pickles in a jar. No regular meals, not enough drink to go around either. The place is, after all, a poorhouse. Our fat man treats his people like cattle. Getting through the day is a struggle. Small wonder they're slamming into walls. If it were up to you, then what? You can't lock up a living creature against its will, and say you turn people into proper beasts. But try so much at hinting at that to our old Gimsky yes-men. They're dead drunk on power. Used to be alright working with them, but now I can't stand those guardsmen. Alright, let me ask you this then. What time of day do you feel worse than usual? All the time. Used to be as hardy as a bull wrangler, but now I have trouble even standing up for long. I get drowsy, my knees give out, it's embarrassing. I feel like I'm failing everyone. Have you been easily fatigued like this for a long time? Don't take a great interest in my own person, Doctor. Got enough people to spend my attention on as it is. But I have trouble doing my job because of this. It's a rugged man's job. Disrobe, down to your undergarments, my good guardsman. Going to examine you. Since you're so preoccupied with my work as a security guard, here's my advice to you, Doctor. You're being too heavy-handed. This lockdown of yours is making people seethe. And a cauldron can only seethe for so long, before the lid flies off, even if you screw it down. I would certainly take note of this pertinent critique, if I had any other options. Strange redness. Rash bites something else. There's red spots on his face, too. Okay. Turn around. Nothing there. Arms. Flip your arms over. Legs. The veins are definitely damaged. The question is, how old is the damage? Okay. So, yeah, we've got weakness. What's that going to be? Is that a weakness? Okay, there's a lot of things. Okay, if we go exit. Not all symptoms have been selected. Let me examine you again. Right, so strange redness on the skin redness. Okay, and it was the veins, right? Vein damage. Twirine syndrome. Exit. Okay. Work? I'm sorry, but you're going to have to forget about your work for now, Doctor. You must remain at the hospital. I used to guard locked up people, and now I've been locked up myself. That's life for you, isn't it? That's the kind of joke life plays. You have no idea how sick I am of the jokes life plays. I was just musing to myself. What do you need me to do? Do I need to give blood? Maybe take a pill? Before we get to the blood and the pills, there'll be a few more questions. You ready to answer some? I've told you my entire life story, Doctor, and you still want more? Ask away then. How long have you had these red spots on your skin? Never had clear skin, me. It's not a clear skin life over here. Although, let me think. Actually, yeah, those spots you're pointing out are brand new. So I'm keeping the reddening as a symptom on your record. This narrows it down to 4 possible diagnoses. And the veins in your leg don't look very healthy. Have you ever noticed that before? My legs. They're that way from all the time I spend standing up. It's my job as a security guard. 16 hours of standing every day, and old Gimsky won't spare us a stool for us to sit down. Says it's not the proper way. Bad for discipline. Working as a guard can easily cause a mundane case of varicose veins. On the other hand, at least 3 promising diagnoses on the vaccine front can manifest as vein issues. You're quite lost in thought, Doctor. Am I really that complicated? Can't wrap my head around little old me being at the centre of this brouhaha. There's a syndrome that fits the description, but it mostly affects drunks. So I'd like to ask you, good sir, do you consume alcohol? Do you do it on a regular basis, and in what quantities? A quantity best described as God forbid. In my line of work, you must be alert. So my basis hasn't been regular since last year. Quite the contrary, I've been abstaining. Can't stand a drinker myself. Your moral fibre is of no concern to me. To drink or not to drink is a personal choice. Mine is purely a medical interest. I'm telling you, it's not regular. I don't have the habit. Period. No, I can't in good conscience put my stamp on a diagnosis. I don't have enough information. Not without home inspection or neighbours' testimonies. Going to your house, sir. My house? Why on earth, Doctor? I can't understand talking to me, feeling me up from head to toe, collecting my blood, but searching my home like I'm some bandit. What did I do wrong? Please understand, in order to create a vaccine that can save several hundred people, I must establish what you're suffering from besides the sandpest. Well. Is it all what I expected from a man of medicine, going off to break into my house? Imagine that. Your agitation is extremely suspect. Okay. To understand Philart's illness, I will have to understand his life. So this is where the detective stuff comes into play, I guess. Right, I'll see everyone later. Not sure how I feel about the mania apathy thing just yet. It's yeah, it'll be interesting to see how common those things are. Sava Kremenets, number 72. I'm an orderly on quarantine duty. What are your instructions? Sava Kremenets, 72 quarantine. Sounds familiar. What were you doing yesterday? We cleared out this place like you ordered. Remember the size of the crowd that showed up yesterday? You said hospitals for doctors, not the sick. No, this won't do. Allow me to correct you. I said we needed space to work. I said the sick ward was going to be at the station now, and this place would be a research facility. That was what I said. Basically, those who have the sand pest are beyond help. They're supposed to go to the general sick ward at the station to die. You had us give them morphine, laudanum, lead, and whatever else eases their pain. And the patients you wanted us to bring here were the rare ones who hadn't died within 5 hours and could even still walk. That is correct. They're the ones we're going to work with. Okay, we can talk to all of them. Marat Takakin, number 28. Started my shift at 10. What's our plan for today, Doctor? The vaccine. Obviously, we were unsuccessful yesterday and the day before, therefore today's plan remains the same. We're catching those longs as you instructed. You know, the rare cases where they get infected but resist the sand pest for a long time. We've got 3 again for today, over there on the platform, the stage. Just 3? Shame. Well, at least we'll be done with quickly. Doctor, last night we had a chat amongst ourselves and there's something we don't get. What's like the point of figuring out what those longs are sick with besides the sand pest? They're going to die either way. How does it help us figure out if they also have anemia, or I don't know, measles, on top of the earthen plague, I mean? To make this as simple as possible, the body wages wars. Whenever there's a disease, it sends its soldiers into battle. Sometimes those soldiers help fight other diseases along the way, including undiagnosed ones. One more person. Here to raise a collective complaint, Doctor. These cloaks, they're very uncomfortable, sir. They make it hard to use your hands and you can't see a damn thing through the mask. On top of that, we have to burn them every night because each time we've been to an infected area. On the upside, they make you very visible. They also grant you a gravatar that commands respect and raises your prestige as volunteer orderlies. Okay, time to go for a walk. Out we go. For the first time into the world of Pathologic 3, go for a walk around town. I'm not sure how much we can actually interact with, but we shall see. Hello everyone. Urkene irid bainagi mende irdem. Amaka Medine uge kara ugib He wishes you many years of life, Iridim. The bulls I vaccinated yesterday, have you bought them? Amakar. The bulls were stolen, Iridim. Typical. Maybe your bulls perished even. Mother Bodo knows where. Deep breaths, Dankovsky. Deep breaths. Count to 10. Only a fool loses his temper. So have they died, or have they been stolen? You're dissembling. Stop it. Bukhara. Oh, damn. Look, I'll return in an hour, and if they're not here... What does this say? People in masks. People in masks. Anything about them? The locals don't even turn their heads. Yeah, that's how they dress around here. I suppose our big city ways would seem just as wild to them. Okay, okay.
Rewind.
Let's go get slightly more manic. Okay. Nice looking theatre. Time is running out. To exit the district, find archers with clocks.
Misophonia, Dankovsky.
To plot a route, select a district name or a marker where I want to go. Unavailable on the demo. Oh, okay, I see. So we can only go here. And there's no regular walking around the town. Okay, that's very interesting indeed. So each district is a world unto itself in this demo. Maybe in the whole game. Computer is struggling slightly. Here we go. Dangerous district. Required attention that cannot be traversed using the map. Hello.
The left hand doesn't know what the right's up to, and the right doesn't know the left's secrets.
Listen to me, Bachelor. Please, just set our differences aside. They're accusing me of being the Sand Plague itself. Oh, dearest colleague, how dare they? You must have been hurrying here so you could heal and bless the sick with your sainted touch. Don't you laugh at me. You know I'm helping you. We're in this together, working towards one goal. We're just different, so we each do it in our own ways, however we can. You deal in prayers and mesmerism. What other medieval remedies do you have? Celandine? Goat kidneys? While we're at it, how are you spreading it? That wasn't me. Not me, but my double. My twin sister I didn't know. I've told you, and that her aspects of yours too. He didn't believe me for some reason, even though he did see us two together. Uh-huh. Sure you have a twin sister. How very convenient for you. But I've seen her. Your blood sample was clean, but I can't shake the feeling that you're connected to the infection somehow. It's the other way around. I just feel where the infection will erupt next, and I go there to help. Please, you have to believe me. If only I had a single reason to believe you. If anyone, it's she who's ruining my reputation. My twin sister. She must be here somewhere. Try looking around. You might be able to catch her. Will you believe me then? No one has ever seen the two of you together. Not even Barak. Neither will I. Those poor devils are looters. They just kept on coming today. There was a rumour that an out-of-town bandit who was packing firepower had been getting busy here, until suddenly he wasn't anymore. Can't shoot the sand pest, you know. But everyone fancies a firearm these days, so they're flocking to his mortal remains like moths to a flame. Did you not find him, the fellow with the gun? Why bother finding that scum? He's lying around here somewhere, waiting to be collected. We've got enough on our plate right now with these would-be scavengers. No time for revolvers at all. Do you want extra patrolmen here? We're managing, for now. Those moths had a little ammo on them and some pilfered odds and ends. One fool had stuffed his knapsack full of tin spoons. Probably never seen real silver in his life. Everything of value has been sent to the town hall. We kept the ammo. Right, hand over the ammo, every last round. Will do. And how did this charming lady end up here? The charming lady, Doctor, has an interesting knack for showing up in a place as soon as a sand pest hits it. We've noticed it 3 days in a row now. So we've detained her. We're not quite sure where to put her now, but she's quite talkative, and we were rather bored in here. Well, you could more or less say the same thing about me. Where the plague goes, the doctor follows. Okay. The plague fog conceals danger. Equip the prototype. Okay.
Boiling, crackling, screeching.
Release after the pendulum stops. Okay. So this is revealing more stuff. The ones lying on the ground cannot be saved, only relieved of suffering. To help them in their passage in this world, I can take their time for myself. Interesting. Euthanasia. It requires the same resources as combating my own mind. A correct dose must be administered. Injected drugs shift the cursor on the gauge. You must land within the highlighted zone before the dying person's heartbeat spikes. Overdosing will amplify suffering and I must alleviate it. Space. Okay, wait, so this causes irritation. Okay. Tranquility. The patient's passage away was swift and painless. I'm a good doctor. Honest. So this is sort of like revealing objects in the environment, not just the plague itself, but actually things. Come on. Yeah. Okay. Where am I? Oh. Hang on. Whoa. Okay. Not quite sure how I was supposed to avoid that one, but keep looking around.
Be quiet, you lot.
Okay, I was just trying to figure out where to go. Hey, I got that poster on my wall. I'm here. I feel like I've wandered the... Have I wandered the wrong way? Is that me? That is me, right? Yeah. Can I go... What, down this way? Excuse me. Ouch. Okay. And then... up through here, maybe? Oh, would you look at that? Hello. Hey, look at me, Doctor. Make sure to take a good look. Are you upset about something? Upset? Oh, he is upset. Listen, I can't talk to you about important matters when you can't get a hold of yourself. Wait a moment. How'd you escape the orderlies? You're besides yourself, Doctor. Your senses are out of tune, which means you don't even understand which world you're in. You're looking at me here, and you see who knows what. I'm tired of all this. All I see is yet another person I don't want to deal with. You're apathetic and that makes you powerless. Your mind is lazy and idle. How can you recognize the truth in such a state? I'll manage. I know what you're going to ask me, but you won't hear my answer. You won't understand it. And the same goes for your other questions. About Simon Kane, for example. About how you can win. About the fate of your poor Thanatica. Here's what I want to ask you. Are you the one who brought the plague to this district? Yes. And if you're being honest, then no. I'll get my hands on you yet. Today. Even better, yesterday. Watch your head, dear bachelor. Watch it closely. Find a balance. Extreme mental states skew reality. What you see is not what is. People turn their wrong side at you. The disease is falling right into your lap, but you turn your back and hunt its shadow. I'm giving you good advice here. But I like being cold-blooded and apathetic. Burying one's head in the sand can be useful at times. Ah, no pun intended, of course. 3.5 men. Talk to all the protagonists. Okay. God darn it, Clara. That's the usual reaction. Can I cut through here? Or is this going to be blocked? I feel like this is blocked. Yep. I do love how hostile this feels. Did you bring the plague? Yeah, yes, and if you're being honest, no. Such a beautiful, beautiful little character moment there. Very, very well done. I'm not quite sure why he decided to go this way, but we'll get out of here. Oh, what is happening? Oh, okay. Losing our mind here. It's quite a funny moment, I agree. Very, very well written. Now, I needed to get back through, like, somewhere over here. There's meant to be a gap in the fence, right? Yeah, in the next yard. Okay. I haven't, unless I missed something, I haven't quite figured out what the thing up the top is telling me. Oh. Can we get around here? Is this way blocked by something unexpected? It is blocked. While apathy is high, time itself, the will to live, and amalgam slip through my fingers. Without amalgam, other days of the story become inaccessible. So I need more mania?
Half a tone louder.
And my health is really low. Okay, I see. Alright. So the plague was just sapping my health directly. I see. And the top thing is my apathy, right? I got it now. Which way am I going then? Which way do I need to go? So certainly this is one hell of a detour that the game is taking me on. I'm not really sure if what that's meant to be either. Let's just keep looking around. There'll be a way through somehow. Through the worst possible route. Okay. Sort of blow that stuff away, I guess. That way is once again blocked. Let's see what's down here. I'm sure I've just turned myself around in the stupidest way possible. Imagine I've missed something really obvious. So close. Don't listen to. Are you the changeling? I thought I was the changeling. Does standing by the fire help? This way? Oh, do I get to retrace my steps? No, I was kind of hoping it would display the awful route that I opted to take. But that's fine. Okay. It would have been cool, yeah. Like an Indiana Jones journey on the map, but just like terrible. Auto-pathing on the map is bonkers. I agree. I'm not quite sure how I ended up in the infected district when, like, from here we could have gone, like, safely up this way rather than into the middle of this infected, abandoned district. Could have stayed home and not risked it, clinging to his routine. No, he couldn't have. I wouldn't be able to either. They're blocked. It's not obvious on the map. Oh, I see. I see. So I guess we would still have had to have gone through an infected district, but we could have gone this way and then through here, I guess. I see. The little red things actually are blockades. Gotcha. Pathologic map strikes again. Oh, I'll figure it out. Okay. I'll get there. It's fun playing a Pathologic game like blind again. I've sort of forgotten what it feels like to not know exactly what's going on. It's really nice, actually. Which house is it? Next one. Have some more of that. Feels great to be back in the world. Yes. I'm glad you're not spoiling the experience for me. Environments are better than they ever have been. Yeah, there's something really great about it. I love the extra details on the rooftops and that kind of thing. Difficult case. Diagnosis was almost clear, but the patient denied a symptom. Need to visit his home to find out. So sick of it all. Town looks so different in some ways. Yeah, I love it. Especially, like, I'm glad it does as well, because we've spent, 6 years away from it since 2019. What is the text here? Come on. What is it? Shoo. Here, kitty kitties, or whatever. Go home already. My tongue refuses to enunciate. Yeah, no, I love the level of detail that's on offer. The town feels much more naturally cluttered and busy, but in what seems to me a very natural way. Like the interiors were always lovely, but it feels like they've done the same to even just the clutter, like outside on the street. And they've done an excellent job.
Drilling my temples.
Okay, nothing in the clock. Hello there. I just mopped that floor and now you're walking all over it. Took forever to scrub clean, Apologies, I'm not very good at walking in a handstand. My legs always veer off to the left for some reason. Stop with that clowning, will you? First he's turning the bathroom upside down, but it's our only one for all these apartments. People wash their kids here and take their own baths on Tuesdays and Thursdays. They keep it clean. Now there's you with your remarks. Bet you're a pal of Feelart's, aren't you? Feelart is in the hospital now. He's under observation. We're here to find out how he got sick. So, Feelart's in the hospital. Perhaps that's for the best. A person getting sick is for the best? Hey, don't look away. You said it, not I. Don't you shamed me. I've helped him out his whole life with cooking and cleaning and whatnot. He was a loner, with no one to take care of him. It wasn't too much trouble for me. We were neighbours after all. He and my husband had been friends since they were kids. Doesn't that just sound idyllic? We drifted apart a little as time went on, but he used to always thank me. Then one day it was like bam, he forgot everything, never said a word anymore, scurried past me to his apartment, Eyes down, no hello, no goodbye. But he sure showed this bathroom who's boss. So this sort of frenzied rage isn't typical of Filat. He'd never trashed anything before and was well behaved. What kind of person this is typical of is an easy guess. You often get this with drunks. One moment he sits there quietly and then he's delirious all of a sudden, with all this ruckus and mess, lest he didn't punch anyone out. Has he been a drunk for long? Was this his first delirium tremens episode, or had he had them before? He didn't drink before, but go ahead and look out that window. The town's falling to pieces. It's enough to make a saint start drinking. It's like people have gone crazy. Some grabbed a bottle, some grabbed a knife. It's hard to stay human. Everyone's inner beast is looking to break out. That's what I like about Pathologic as the series, as well as the moral erosion, as I've talked about many times before. And that's baked into the narrative in the game world, obviously. So you know for certain that Filat trashed the place in a drunken haze, or is that just what you're assuming? Well, what do you think happened? He didn't just trash the shared bathroom, he was sick all over it. The whole place was a mess. I thought I'd never get it clean. Do you know what it's like to mop up someone else's vomit? How would a smart dresser like you know that, eh? I went to medical school, my good lady. The amount of vomit I used to cart around is more than this entire house could disgorge. Have you figured out everything you needed? I'd like to finish with the cleaning here. The kids from downstairs will be here soon to wash their hands before eating. They'll be better off if they don't see the mess. Just a minute. Is there anything else you can tell me about Filat? Do you happen to know any illnesses he's had in the past? Chronic or acute? Whatever you can remember. No, that man was never sick. Strong and tough as a cart horse, and I mean I could easily imagine him pulling an actual cart. That was why they hired him to guard the Olgimsky meat cannery back in the day. Guarding the meat processing plant is a tough job. May have been the thing that undermined his health to begin with. If you ask me, Filat may be built for the job, but it's not a job for him. The termitary needs security to make sure the steppe brutes aren't beating about town. He was getting sentimental about them. That's why he and I fell out. We argued about whether worms and herb brides were equals. Some security guard. An opinion like that doesn't paint you in a good light, but your neighbour, on the other hand, sounds like a man with a conscience. What a thing to say. Stop trying to confuse me. I don't have time to pick your philosophizing apart anyway. I've got a bathroom to finish cleaning. Filat got into philosophizing too, and it both destroyed our friendship and made him an alcoholic. There's no good in that. Can we go back to his drinking once more? Your delirium hypothesis is logical, but it's still only a conjecture. In fact, his denial of a drinking habit sounded very sincere to me. Who wants to confess to something shameful like that? The thing is, lifelong sots are proud of it, and it's the new-made ones who are ashamed. I hope he's ashamed. It's anyone's darn guess if he is. It's like he's become a completely different man. For all I know, he's lost all sense of himself at this point. Gone completely off his rocker. Off his rocker? There's something new again. Are you just talking about the bathroom incident, or is there any other evidence that he's off his rocker? He has episodes, you know. Before he trashed the bathroom, I'd hear this muttering coming from behind his door every night. And he lives alone. No family and no one visits him. My husband and I used to be his only friends. He started talking to himself, and that's a sure sign. Why didn't you say that right away? You seem like a smart woman, but even you make getting this information feel like pulling teeth. This changes the picture completely. And you? Why didn't you take your shoes off right away when you walked in? Because you didn't think of it. Neither did I with the muttering. I love the dialogue in this game. It's so well written, just like the other ones. Just the back and forth feels so authentic. Have I told you everything now? I have my limits too, you know. Mopping floors is hard enough, but bad-mouthing a former friend is harder. I'm sorry for the poor dummy. Where is Filat's room? Let's take a look before I go, after all. Further down the hallway. Here's the key. I've got work left to do. Been breaking my back for half a day here, and whose fault is it? A fool, who's also a drunk now. Poor soul. No, I must remember to put hallucinations and vomiting on his record, according to a neighbour. Completely trashed the place. Lovely. Oh, hello. Sane Bainer, Irdem. Well, this is news. The neighbour told me that Filat lived alone. Bikaranab, you're angry. Shiyunde Iribshi. I am angry. I've got nowhere to go. By Gal die, don't kick me out, Irdem. You're a kitten burglar, perhaps. Not going back to the Warren. The Warren, what's that? You people call it the Termitary. Ida Hamni, Irene, you smell like danger. Balish, Bialish, go your own way. Will you tell me what's in there then? In detail, please. People are there, Katange. What else do you want? We live there. How'd you get past the guards? I'll tell. Just let me go. There's a crawl hole out of the Warren. Akai Filat watches it. Help me go around the angry guards. Tere Namaye Abarba. Akai Filat seems like a savvy fellow himself. How much did he charge you for his help? Medene Ogye Hara Ogyup. What? Akai Filat took in, hid, sheltered, so no one sees. No one returns me to the Warren. Be Kodo Doho Bayarye Kurgehib. Talked quietly. Zilge Nagohon Yaza Sheshunib, so no one hears. Your neighbour heard anyway, but don't worry, she thought Filat was out of his mind. If you keep quiet, she won't notice you. Where's Akai Filat? Yun Bolohob, how is he? Finally, some sensible talk. He's in the hospital. He's ill. I'm a doctor and I need to find out what he's ill with. Will you help me? I will. Namda Tilekegi Iritaib. Akai Filat sickens. I saw it, he sickens. Does Filat drink? Vodka, wine, those steppe herb infusions of yours? At first glance I can't see a single bottle. Not a drop. Strict on himself, doesn't allow me neither. Kadeen Shingi Katu. So the neighbour was mistaken after all. Perhaps she wanted to be mistaken out of spite. The reasons doesn't really matter though. What matters is that he wasn't drinking. How else can I help? Save Akai Filat Irdem. Bishamha Asunab. Stay put, don't you dare sneak away. I need to look around. I'll ask you some more in a bit. What was that? Need to take a closer look around. No hallucination, it's a real boy. Neighbour claims Phil is a drunkard, trashing the house, talking to voices in his head. Except not really. What am I missing? Neighbour claims Phil is a drunkard. He's trashing the house, talking to voices in his head. Who would eat it? Even rats would probably be disgusted. What's this? Wet rags on the bed, huh? Used to put them on his forehead. No label on the pills. Can't tell what they are from the appearance. Filat took them. Did he know he was sick? Now that you promised to help me, will you tell me what happened to Filat? I will. I found some pills, medicine. What are these? Who was taking them? We don't use these in the steppe. Akai Filat said they are so the head doesn't ache. Another symptom? Good. His head hurt. Tiri Zuboho. These rags on their bed look like they are used in a compress to bind something hot or cold over an injury. Do you know anything about that? I do. Inehain Imnelgi. Akai Filat was hot, tossed and turned. I put cold on him. So he had a fever, and he didn't mention it during the interview. Tiri Edegehi. I worry for him. There's something rotten on the table. Did you eat it? Is this what made Filat vomit? Hungry. We need it. Akai Filat's not rich. Bruce Vlad pays the guards so little. Karu. Was enough for one, not enough with me. Hard to feed two. Akai Filat walked, looked for cheap food. They cheated. Sold rotten. So did Filat eat that rotten stuff or did he not? Did he get sick from food poisoning? This is scary, Udem. Biagab. Never thought to eat the rot. Even Akai Filat forbade. Then his hunger came. Crazy like. Grabbed everything, gobbled everything. I took away, hid, told him bad, rotten, will hurt. He didn't listen. Like possessed by some hungry beast. Sudden hunger. Should I add bulimia to the symptoms? That's good advice. Rotten will hurt. Never noticed such indiscriminating behavior before. A change in feeding pattern is certainly telling. Never saw a man wolf bad food like that. In Azigtai. Okay. Is that everything? Should I... talk to the lady again. Does she have anything else to say? No. Okay. 2 patients. Turned over the assistant. The third one is a tough nut to crack. And a little investigation is needed. He destroyed the bathroom. Neighbor is convinced he got sick from alcohol. Okay. Let's go talk to the kid again. We're probably having this conversation. It sounds so obvious. No. Okay. Nothing else to talk about there. Okay, the music is helping me out here. I'm becoming less apathetic. Music is helping. How high does it go? Look at that, we're moving at the pace now. Not so apathetic anymore. Shame he has to live like this, eating rotten scraps to save the boy. Stoics make the worst patients. There might be more clues here. What am I missing?
As if things are animated. The town dribbles.
Okay, definitely not done yet, but... This? He destroyed the bathroom? Okay, what am I missing then? I really like the text that like is just sort of appearing on the walls. I think it's very clever. Turns the text into something spatial, which is a technique I'm a really big fan of, which is also used in Outer Wilds, of course, with the Nomai's spiral language. It makes the game sort of exceedingly literary.
Never alone. Things everywhere.
What did I miss then? The game is claiming I missed something, isn't it? But I fail to see what I could have missed. Because yeah, the kid doesn't have anything else to say. About that, and neither does the neighbor. And is the game just gonna...
Every creak, like a gunshot.
Is there anything downstairs? I doubt it. Locked. This is still locked.
Misophonia, Denkowski. You're too high.
Look at the sprinting when he's manic. It's crazy. So that's how you speedrun this game. You have to be constantly manic. Okay. My health is definitely not doing so good from just staying in here, is it? Does it? My health go down because I'm that manic, does it? If I use that? Yeah, so if I'm manic, my health is actively going down. Okay, that makes sense. So can't listen to music too much, otherwise we die, I guess. That's the lesson I'm going to take from Pathologic 3. Listen to music at your own peril. Surefire way to just die. Okay. Unless my health is still dropping, I can't quite tell. Okay. Right, alright, I don't know what else I looked at. What's this mouse trap doing here? Is it just in case, or are there actually mice in this place? Lots of them. Bold. Walk here like it's their home. Mice and rats spread disease. The diagnosis is coming to mind at once, but I need to double check. Townsfolk live in houses, call us beasts. Cleaner in the step, better. They know nothing. 10 eggs on. So, mice, headache, fever, hunger, and the vomiting, fatigue, and skin reddening. The veins are ruled out, but what happened in the bathroom? The neighbour says Filat drunkenly. No, he doesn't drink. Urte ikino. He'd eaten bad food, couldn't keep it down. Didn't want to make a mess in there, so he went where he could do it. And there, Hian. Water's there for washing. The Kai Filat said water scared him. Heard the dripping, went crazy. Can a man be scared of water? Erdem? Hian is life. Got scared of water for no apparent reason and trashed the bathroom. This is an extremely rare symptom. Should sort it all out. Okay. Time to head back to the hospital. Okay. So we have a lot of stuff. So skin redness, weakness. We can get rid of the vein damage. Bulimia. Headache. Did we already highlight fever? Where was fever? Fever was here. And then hydrophobia. Nephropathia epidemica. Disease caused by a group of viruses varying with the epidemic focus. Humans contract the virus from animals in their waste. The disease begins acutely with fever, rapid heartbeat, nausea and or vomiting, accompanied by headache and photophobia. After 3 days, a rash appears on the skin and facial flushing becomes evident. The disease causes internal bleeding, leading to patient's death. Risk groups, people in contact with animals, rural residents. Okay. That was very satisfying, actually. That was very well done.
Keep quiet in the library.
Okay. Trade. Right. So I just got to get to one of the gates.
I'd rather not hear this.
Do I have to be manic to loot bins, do I? This one's locked. So go back the way we came then, shall we? Jog, Dankowski, jog. So it's back this way. It's been too long since I gave the Termitaria a proper look in Pathologic 2. Did they have chimneys there? I honestly cannot remember. No signs of sandpest, just signs of being beaten. Can I have a drink?
Can't think like that.
Okay. Back we go. Through the dangerous district. 332. And then back here we go. Okay. Let's take this out again. Okay. Let's take the route that doesn't suck this time. If we can. Don't need to be so painfully circuitous. I'm not sure how much, content is left in this demo, but I am very impressed by the amount that is here. I'm not sure whether I'm reaching the end or not or anything like that, but I've really enjoyed what's on display, and it's obvious that the little typos and the UI and the voice lines and stuff, that's all stuff that can be very easily polished up later. The town itself has large level of detail and promise. It looks to be just as interesting to explore, and the sort of the temporal mechanics. I mean, I'm going to have a field day writing a video about all this, I think, providing it unfolds in an interesting way in the full game, because there's certainly like time and temporality in video games is one of my prevailing interests in terms of study. Strange from a publisher's point of view, in terms of releasing a demo like this, you mean? Demo feels like it's more to sell the game to its already captured audience. Totally. I don't know who this would appeal to. Yeah, I agree. For a new player, this demo would be really weird and disjointed. It really does feel like a teaser for everyone who's already fully invested in the game, which is why we love it, obviously. But yeah, I can't imagine how people who've never played a Pathologic game before would react to this. Whereas I feel like for Pathologic 2, the Marble Nest was actually quite a good introduction to the world. Like the Marble Nest felt like a good starting point, whereas this, not so much. A Senite of good life to you, Erdem. Here are your balls. Bikara. Are you still not glad to have them? Where are those Odong of yours, the ones that came this morning? I remember sending them to fetch the balls. You've insulted them. The worms don't want to deal with you anymore. The worms believe you're a bad man. A churlish, ungrateful man. Hikin. Me. Hiki me. I'll try to do better. You gonna take our bull's blood? I need to make today's vaccine first. After that, I'll get on with the universal one. Excellent. Hello. So cute. I love cows. Okay. Let's go. Finally, I've been waiting for you, Dr. Dankovsky. As you can see, I've allowed our volunteer orderlies to leave on a break, but they'll all return as soon as you give the word. Good. Rest is necessary. Let them have a smoke, visit their families. Who knows, they might not get another chance. Consider it done. What about the third patient, Filat, the termitary guard? Do you have a diagnosis? Haven't put him to sleep yet. Thought he might be useful to you again. Need to verify a few things with Filat. I like Yakov Little. Same. He seems like a nice fellow. Just be sure to put it in the document, and stamp it too. Mr. Little, I barely recognize you. Going to teach me how to maintain patient records now? Here you are. What took you so long, Doctor? Do my mice detain you? You're joking, despite your nerves. That's a good sign. You can relax. I've seen it, and your secret has been uncovered. So you met him. I tried to protect him with everything I had. I went to your hospital, so he wouldn't catch it from me. Then you lied. You described fatigue, but you've been nauseous, feverish, and much more. Never been a good liar. If I told you too much, you'd know that someone was changing my bandages, that I needed money to feed 2 mouths, so I talked as little as I could. Regardless, I found out. Nothing to hide now. Sure, I led the boy through a hidden passage away from the slaughterhouse. He's just a kid, Doctor. It was hardship that brought him to the cannery. Yavios, yes, I am still streaming. Good to see you back. Have you missed any Clara cryptid sightings? Unfortunately, you missed both Clara cryptid sightings. Maybe next time. It's not my place to judge you. What you did is noble, but stupid. But I'm on your side, despite the risk. I'm no hero, but I was taught to draw the line somewhere. I treat people like people, period. I've done what I could. So you're saying you'd let more people out if you had more authority in such decisions? A lot of players, me included, were having trouble finding the second Clara. Well, you know, I'm just naturally good at getting lost, so I found her no problem. I'll starve people to death in the termitary. Not just there either. While you were out, I overheard people in the hospital. Aren't you the tyrant who ordered a quarantine? Yes, I'm afraid, Yavios, you might actually have to play this. I'm sorry. I'm a tyrant. You're a rebel. No one will be able to tell the difference in the morgue. Those are dangerous games you play, Doctor. I'm not the only one who doesn't like restrictions. Today, people endure. Tomorrow too. But in the days that follow, they'll erupt. I told you, You can't humiliate a living being without suffering consequences, and this imprisonment humiliates the town a second time. Everyone's a critic. My decisions aren't up for debate. This won't end well, I tell you. Neither of us can tell the future, and for that, I came to talk about your diagnosis. Drink this glass of water, please, before we continue. Ugh. Take that away. I can't stand hearing this sloshing. Get it away, doctor. The decisive symptom has now been confirmed. This is enough to make the diagnosis. I have checked the records. You've diagnosed all 3 of the oddities who didn't quickly die from the plague. You're a mental giant, a luminary. I've asked you before, Mr. Little. Stop with the sycophantic theatrics. I'm doing what I must. We awaited your verdict with bated breath. What next? The vaccine? Searching the town for more people with the same symptoms as today's 3? The search, then the vaccine. The blood of those lucky enough to resist the plague should help the others too. Consider it done. And after that, how much culture should we take? What temperature should we heat it to? Don't be overzealous with drawing blood, 450 milliliters at most, otherwise the weakened patients won't make it. We've gotten it down in the last 2 nights. We'll manage without supervision, I promise. Rest without fear that we'd ever disgrace you. So, Dr. Dankovsky, sir, do you give us permission to proceed? Shall we start? If we don't vaccinate anyone tonight, there will be 300 deaths. 5 if we do. My work has errors. This is so damn difficult every time. What's going on? I couldn't hear you. Do we begin or not? Go ahead. I will actually leave now. Get some rest before another day. Just as gruesome. Okay. And where we go then? Yay! Got all the patients diagnosed correctly. The assistants are preparing today's vaccine. You've done all that you could, Signor. Go on and rest. They wait for you at the Stillwater. Why are you in charge of deciding if I've done all I could? Your vaccine will be ready only on the morrow. Would it even free your heart from its torment? What else are you to do? I love that they're... I assume it's quite deliberate, sort of formatted like poetry. I could do what I came here for, to get Simon Kane at last. Okay, where was the nearest exit? The nearest clock thing. That's what these are, isn't it? These are the open clock gates. Okay, let's slowly shuffle our way over.
Yes, this is a migraine.
I think the second one, honestly, to me, seemed the hardest one. Maybe it's just me. But the second one, like, there were sort of 2 it could have been, so I just sort of took a random stab. But it's quite cool that it is actually that dangerous. Okay. So there is still that, like, element of luck. But maybe I could have asked some more questions, I'm not sure. Doctor, we're rotating. Leaving, that is. Abandoning the post. Oh, indeed. Is this an ultimatum? Well, we didn't sign up for this. They've gone and armed themselves. Not petty thieves, no. These are proper... Oh, what's the word? Thugs. They shoot, Doctor. They stab. It's really unheard of around here. Raising a knife against your fellow man, and we're unarmed. You asking me to arm you? No. We're not thugs. Your capital might be a vicious place, but this town used to be a living thing. We don't have... murders. We have an epidemic. They have side effects, violence, dissolution of boundaries, desperation. I foresaw all of this. I'm afraid not, Doctor. We're volunteers. We took no oath. What if everyone goes back on their commitments now? Suppose I go back on mine. Not letting thieves in and sick out? Fine. Putting yourself in front of a bullet or blade? Well, to say it again, that's a whole different beast. The fact that you've brought us to this state is thought-provoking. Again, really unheard of. And on that note, as they say, we take our leave. My friend, this is now the 3rd game where people turn it into murderers. Have you not read the script? Come on, patrolman. Yes, you're volunteers. You're horrified by such inhumanity, as you said yourself. Go and stop it. And they're gone, okay.
My head hurts enough as it is.
Time to slowly reload the gun. Okay.
Got you. Closer.
People are intimidated by weapons. Did that seriously not work? Yeah, you stay there. Okay. I shot you in the head. I'm just...
Hey, you.
Do you have a problem, buddy? Like, come on. Gonna heal myself.
Come here.
Enough.
There he is.
Oh my god. There he is.
Hey,
Satisfied, Denkovsky.
got you.
Okay, that puts the apathy all the way to the... Okay, die of apathy.
Right there.
Hang on, if you excuse me, I'm in the middle of committing suicide. Hang on.
You're not going
Just-
anywhere. Get back
The
here.
gravitas of this scene is kind of diminished by the fact that there's someone actively trying to pummel me to death during it. Okay, all the way back here. Alright. Okay. Let's try that again. So I guess shooting people is really not good for one's mental health. I don't really have that much left though, unfortunately. Okay, let's try that again. Just feel like if the Bachelor could be bothered to climb fences, you know, then maybe he wouldn't have to do this, but that's fine. I get, you know, we're not all athletes, so...
Closer.
What do you mean closer? What are you talking about? Doesn't really help, does it? I need another
Hold it.
gramophone. That was really ramping my mania up.
Got you.
Yeah, I really, I doubt that was intended, but quite funny. They don't have fences in the capital. This is all he knows. He's being herded like a rat through the maze. Stop it. Come on, buddy. Like, seriously. You know I have a gun, and I will point it threateningly at you. I'm not out of ammo. But that was just sad.
Get back here.
Hang on, I am out of ammo, actually. I forgot to load my pistol.
You're not going anywhere.
Whoa. Okay, he just sort of froze. Why did he do that? Great. Oh god. Okay. He's really not having a good time. I guess, can I reload my gun here, or am I only allowed to pull out my gun in the infected district? I won't draw my gun when no one threatens me. Okay, like, you don't have to do that, but like, I was just kind of hoping you'd... I hadn't shot anyone in my playthrough. I blew my brains out in front of Barack in the hospital at the start by accident. It just, yeah, that's such an interesting system to just immediately take control away from you. I guess you have like a small amount of time. It sort of felt like I'd have a small amount of time to recover. Hi. And to like apply the proper medicine, but if you don't...
There he is. Come here.
Stop a writer for a moment. But it's like when you...
Hey, you.
Saw one new player immediately abort the game when that happened.
There he is.
Come on.
Yourself, Doctor.
Okay, no, like literally there's nothing I can do about that. Okay. Gotcha. I thought I'd have like a second to pop the mania stuff, but that's alright. Maybe, yeah, I guess I've just gotta play perfectly, I guess. This is an unexpected gameplay challenge. How close am I to the end, by the way, of the demo? Is this sort of the last section? I'm just sort of speaking in terms of the amount of time that I have left, whether I'll be able to finish it all today. Do want to make sure I can actually do that. Try being manic about it. Have I tried having a bipolar episode? Nope. I just don't think I have enough medicine to like bring myself back to the state that I need to be in. Although I can. Okay, the barrel, right? The standing by the fire helps me out. I think it's just finding the objects that actually do help me. That's really what I'm relying on. Whoa. It's amazing how much faster he moves after he's just like listened to a bit of music or like stood by a fire. Look at him go.
Vibrant.
Yeah.
Stop right there.
Oh, come on. I'm healthy. As I run through the street, slathering ointment on myself or something. Holding a revolver. I'm healthy.
Come here.
Yeah. I don't think so. Okay, and yeah, I'm almost there. Cool. I literally just had to stand by the fire. Yeah. The bachelor's humans just got home. Can't imagine that speed is going to stay into the full release, but it's so fun. It's so good.
Forgot that there's so much of the world.
What are you laughing about? Raise the yellow flag. Yellow flag doesn't stand for quarantine, you dum-dum. It's the other way around. It's you who stands for quarantine. The yellow flag means hang all borders. Yellow flag means plague on board, so it's correct. Get us our boat, mister. That boat used to be my hat, you dum-dum. That's because your head is so small. A matchstick head. So this boat is a headdress? He won't get you the boat. His head is ill-fitting. He thinks in mere 3 dimensions. You won't do, mister. Leave the boat be. You think all this tri-dimensionality suits my head? I'm envious the game runs really well on your computer. My load times are like PS1 level. I'm glad it runs well on my computer as well. I was sort of expecting it to not, so I am glad it's actually working. Dreading seeing what the graphics will look like on my PC compared to what they look like here as well. I'm the only one speedrunning the demo, besides maybe Andy North. The run is pretty goofy. I'd be keen to like try a run of it or something, even just to sort of see what it's like. Won't be setting any records or anything. But hello, Ava.
No lovers as sweet as the silent of sleep.
You're back, and just in time. You know a mob is slowly gathering outside the house. I didn't see anyone. I did. They peer into the windows. They're planning something. It's very easy, no difficult tricks. No, I just get lost every time. That would be my problem. They're planning something, deliberating. Sometimes they carry torches and sometimes stakes. I think they're up to wickedness. You often see what isn't there, Ava, don't you? If you decide to go out and check after all, please take me with you. There's no need, I won't be very long. Wait, let's talk a little first, like we always do. You said it yourself yesterday, when you're talking to me, it's like talking to a cat. It's the only way to sort your thoughts. Must have brought so many new thoughts with you. Tell me. No, Ava, I was wrong then. You're not a cat. I'm sorry for that arrogant thing I said. I've changed now. Will you tell me? You see? Well, first of all, it's clear the sand pest can't be defeated by ordinary means. We're so short on time. Creating a vaccine takes weeks. I don't even have days. Which means we must do something different, but what? How do we find an opening? You believe Simon would help you if you found out where he was. Simon. Since he's behind it all. His disappearance, the missing body, the huge coffin in an empty grave, the notes supposedly written by him. It all makes you think. Either this is some kind of conspiracy or he's playing a murky game with me. I must find him. Keep talking. I'm human. I'm an intelligent, industrious, courageous human. A good specimen. One of the finest. And I still have too many limitations. Solving these problems takes something greater. A stream, if you will. Instead of a point. I must pass through several apertures at once. Go on, keep talking. I understand. Wait, what's that noise outside? I told you, there are people in there scaring me, but our conversation is more important. It will never happen again. I really love her character model in this one. I love her hair. It will. I remember where we left off. Okay. And I love being able to see more of the still water. This is like my favourite building. Maybe it's just me. All I can think of when I see Batch from these dialogues is how it looks like he's wearing a bachelor mask on his bachelor face. Funnily enough, we had this discussion earlier in the stream. So it obviously must be intentional if it's bringing out these kinds of thoughts in at least three of us. That we're looking at the actor, sort of, or how the bachelor might perceive himself as a fraud or, imposter syndrome. Charge the prototype. Unavailable in the demo. Okay. What else we got? God, this is... I can't describe actually how much it means to be able to like walk around the Stillwater more. I'm gonna make a video on it. I love this building. I really, really do. And being able to see more of it is precious. I still want to make a video on the town as a whole and talk about its spaces, but
Damn them.
I would simply love to talk about this space more because it means so much to me. I would love to live in this house, honestly. It's so nice. And those were the rocks we saw at the beginning. The moment I was able to open that other door, didn't walk straight there like you. I went the usual route into the center room here and then upstairs. Someone took some comparison screen caps on one of the discords, comparing Stillwater and Pathologic 2 and Pathologic 3. Pathologic 3 is so much cooler. Yeah, that I vibed with the space already so much in Pathologic 2 and obviously in the original game. But yeah, this feels like something else to me. And I love Ava as well as a character. So yeah, I must make a video essay. I must. Wow, fabulous. Okay. I love it. Was the center always water? I'm pretty sure it was. But like it wasn't noticeable, I don't think. Or maybe that's just my imagination and I always assumed because of the lighting it was filled with water. I'm pretty sure it's got water in it in Pathologic 2. But yeah, didn't realize just how empty everything was in Pathologic 2. I feel like the interiors in that game I still really love, but it's really clear to me that they've just spent that extra bit of time looking around and adding stuff and just fleshing out the spaces more. And speaking as someone whose main interest is literally video game spaces and the impact they have on us as a player. I'm gonna have a field day with this game. I can tell you that. Yeah. Oh, I love it. It's so cool. And it goes up further as well. Oh my god. Okay. Review decrees. We got on the... Yes. See the past. And I'll loot the clock. This is awesome. Yeah, no, the moment I become a multi-millionaire, yep, I'm just gonna
Stop staring
build the still water myself. Totally. Okay. This is awesome. The center was not filled with water? Okay. It must have just been my imagination then, because like looking at it naturally, like from my memory in Pathologic 2, I swear Ava was like sort of dipping her white tile. Okay, maybe that's where the illusion came from. Because yeah, I swear I remember it having water in it. But yeah, I guess not. That's alright. Water update just dropped. Empty pool. Yeah, that'll be it. Hello everyone. I will draw my gun only in dangerous districts. That wasn't dangerous at all, of course. That was fine. Ava, just a casual question. Do you have like a escape route in this?
The angel of death paces at my door.
I feel like it's probably, the screenshot is probably accurate. Windshield, I feel like that was just my impression of the space already. Like I just assumed it had water in it because it looked naturally like a place you'd put water in. But yeah, I guess I'll find out when I play Pathologic 2 over the next couple of weeks. It's so hard on you, poor thing. Look, some of your hair has turned grey in the past days. You're a learned man. Why does it do that? Can someone's hair really grey so suddenly? It can, but only over time. The hair that grows after the shock lacks the necessary pigment. It's not instant. So what's happening out there? What do they want? I made one mistake. Just one? What mistake? Now you're making fun of me? Tell me, what was it? Did you make this mistake in the past? Yes. You see, I was trying to tune down the panic and stop the infection from spreading, so I issued some harsh decrees and quarantine measures. I told everyone to stay home. No talking, no sneaking out. Not everyone found this enjoyable. But it was the right thing to do. It all piled up rather unfortunately. Your regular supply train run was running late, and the quarantine was very sudden. Yes, you can, yep. Many people lack necessities, food, medicine, water, and much more. The town became a rat trap, and a cornered rat, without food or water. I thought it all through. I'll revoke the decree. Right now, it won't get any worse. No one complied with it anyway. Just led to exasperation, no sanitary measures. There's no authority here, just anarchy and chaos. To hell with it. I'm revoking the decree this instant. Is it not too late? I guess we'll see. I'm coming upstairs. Oh, a boy came here recently. Agitated, angry, carrying some papers. Gave him bread and dried apples. He's upstairs by the table you sign all your papers at. Yes, I know. That's Sticky, the town hall's messenger. Nimble kid. I feel like our minds often fill in the spaces of areas that we're familiar with, adding details that we felt were missing without realizing it. Your mental architect evidently agreed with that of the devs, that some water would complete the center. Evidently! Yeah, so now I'm sort of questioning, where that perception came from, but it's very cool that that perception was like strong enough for them as well.
Think. Damn it.
I don't have a gramophone in here.
What are you afraid of? That they'll get mad? Huh?
So they made a bunch of decrees about the town, like there weren't enough already. Told me to bring them to you for approval. Who comes up with all these? You'll have to ask the higher-ups. I just bring what I'm given. You decree, we carry it out, instantly. You got full authority 2 days ago, didn't you? So use it. We'll obey. As far as I'm concerned, roosters do the crowing, and who cares if the sun doesn't rise? Yes, and I'll use that authority to lift the quarantine. Can't get any worse than it is. Interesting. So we got strategy going on as well. The enacted decree is causing problems. Select to remove it using Z. Okay. Change decree. Allow night shift at the Olgimpskis. Denial. Prohibit dying. Quarantine. Yeah, pest control. And I could issue more. If I go back. Oh, hello.
You'll just fail.
Remember our request? There are 500 kids at the polyhedron right now. 522 to be precise, not counting me. The tower supports our weight just fine. Don't order the evacuation. It must not happen. What are you doing here, kid? You're supposed to be in the polyhedron. You lifted the quarantine. I think we agreed you stopped calling me kid. I just signed the decree. The ink hasn't even dried. You're living in some special timeline of your own, Dr. Dankovsky. For all I know, it might have taken you a fairly long time to sign the decree. In the meantime, the weather has turned fair and the quarantine is nothing but a memory. Go outside and see what you have wrought. Brevia Manu, as an ancient author would have put it. Do miss some of the Pathologic 1 geometry fuckery, though. Absolutely. I always miss that. Yes, that was my first experience with Pathologic, and after looking around that room and sort of, I just felt at home in some really weird way, and then talking to Ava, that cemented the fact that I was like, yes, this is the game I've been waiting my whole life to play. I love it. But yes, I wasn't expecting a city policy mechanic either, you ever asked. Okay, hello again. Can I stand by the fire? Does this help me? Don't think I've ever seen a game combine experiencing a city firsthand and creating the policy at the same time, of the city at the same time before. I think, it's really cool. I really hope it pans out in the full game. I'm really excited to actually see the marble nest theoretically unfold because of the player's actual actions. I was always fascinated to imagine how other marble nest sort of scenarios could be created as the other characters as well. This demo has made me incredibly excited for the full thing. Hello, Doctor. Thank you for clearing the way for me. I can assume this is a case of damned if you do, damned if you don't, as my colleague Barak would put it. You're not. You're just a smart fellow who finally understood that I'm a blessing, not a curse. That Simon of yours figured it out long ago, by the way. That's why he allowed me into the town. That's why he took my communion. You're lying, mealy-mouthed creature. Simon created this town himself. He wouldn't have let you in here on purpose. You're still so far behind him after all, silly bachelor. It was for the town's sake that he let me in. At first he protected the town from me, but then he realized you can't protect things forever. You can't raise a child under a glass dome. If there is no symbiosis with the soil, no miracle can bloom. And the soil is me. So you're the one who killed Simon. An immortal man died of some pestilence? Oh, bachelor, he hasn't died. You're just looking in the wrong direction. He excluded time from the world and thus became immortal. He's dying, sickening, living, rotting, thriving all at once. He found a way. Just a minute. Give me some time to think. I can wait. You have time aplenty. An infinite amount. Now, where's the nearest clock? My sundial is useless in this plague mist. Right. There's no more use for sundials. Any sundials anywhere. I've defeated the sun. It's all right. I don't need the sun anymore. The truth lights my way. Okay. Today. Need to find a mechanical clock and restart the time. Sounds easy. Today I chose either death at the hands of rioting plebs or plague in Ava's lungs. No hope. If only I'd chosen differently 2 days ago. It's so interesting. I'm just wondering how they're going to handle the scope of the choices. It's going to be really interesting. I'm really not doing very well. I don't have any medicine either. What helps my mania in here? Anything? Let me just get to a clock before I die. Come on, Bachelor. Just a bit more. Oh god. There was a clock up here, right? Yes. What troubles you, Signor? Your day is over? It's not just the illness, it's the chaos. As soon as I've contained the plague, the town erupts into rioting. How do I work in every dimension at once? There's not enough of me. Admire indeed. So let it not your grave become. Maybe best to cry surrender. At least you've held on to humanity. A feeble joy, though that may be to you. You can but do the things that can be done, no more. Accept your fate as it so stands. There still can be a victory in this. I can just hear the audience booing and taking off their opera glasses in annoyance every time Dankovsky blesses us with another one-liner. Absolutely. Absolutely. The town is a space, so is the nation, and there's not enough of me in that space. But the world has many facets. I can lose in one and win in another. Is time itself your quarry now? Would you repair the past? Can such a thing be done? Signor, you know the literature on this. A flap of wings hither, a storm thither. Though that one tale is yet unwritten. I'll at least try to picture how things might have gone differently. Well said. But I knew you not to be a Berkelian. I just feel sorry for Ava. Or rather, sorry about her. Then lay your head and sleep. Will you stare into the clock face as if it were a stereogram or sacred icon? Perhaps it shall become what it is not. I'll start over. Here I am, leaving the capital. Use. Telling a story requires time. Time is embodied in amalgam. I'll consume it when trying to recall another day. A new day brings new memories. Select a day to explore. Okay, so I can't go back that far, but I could go back to like day 3, I guess. If I'd collected more amalgam, I could have. Wow, okay, so it's not even a scripted thing, it's you can choose when to jump back in time. Wow, alright. So that's Pathologic 3, Quarantine. Thank you for walking some of the Bachelor's path with them. This is only the beginning. That was really good. I was very impressed. Survey time. Yes, I'll open that survey and do it. Yeah, there's a lot to enjoy. Don't quit out yet. Okay. Is there more that I can do if I hit escape? Oh. Day 3, in which the bell tolls. Oh, hello.
Some lenses make things larger. Others make them smaller. And still others split them in two.
I love her. Yeah, I just love her outfit in this one as well. Good morning to our guest, Dr. Dankovsky from the Capitol. Any additional comments now you've completed the demo? Keep the water, seriously. That's how I always imagined it. Did you sleep comfortably? It was atrocious. Never did I shut my eyes, but tossed and turned all night. Confess, did you put a hard pea under the mattress, Ava? I dreamt that I could fly, or rather tried to, and though I did succeed, mine was a strange flight, at no great altitude and horizontal. Less of a flight than a swift glide above the ground, atop an unseen moving platform, but I was yearning for an upward soar, somewhere vertical. And you, what did you dream of? The usual. An empty street at night lined with 4 lamps, and at its end a brick house. Walk towards the house and cannot reach it. That reminds me of some of Alexander Bloch's poetry. Your face is very weary. 30, aren't you? I'd say you look much older than your years. I like that you have no grey hair. It's coal black. Not raven, that's a different shade from yours. Not a single grey one yet. Look, Ava, do you have no better pastimes? Neither fond of nor adept at small talk. But I think you have poetic inclinations. My taste in poetry is mostly Horace, so I'm doubtful we'll be on the same page. You have a troubled day ahead of you. Will you be back tonight? I'll be waiting. Waiting? What for? I think you'll be in great need of a listener after the kind of day you'll have today. Not being dramatic, I'm just saying a flurry of events awaits you, many of which will stump you. You can bet on that. Cool. Is that... The end. Complete, question mark, Act 3. Yeah, so that was, as I was saying, right, before we had that little conversation, that was really cool. I can sort of, the game seems to me impossibly ambitious with its sort of temporal shenanigans and all of these different mechanics. You know, you're diagnosing patients, you're issuing decrees, all these kinds of things. I'm interested to see not just sort of what abstract sort of strategic, you know, resource mechanic is going on in the background, but also whether that is affecting the narrative story world and that kind of thing as well. It just seems to me to be so many moving parts. It's crazy to consider how much more complex mechanically this is than the original game. There's just so much going on, and really I think the interesting thing will be seeing whether the full game sort of carries through the promise of all these mechanics that they've introduced here, or whether, you know, some mechanics go underutilized. And I mean, I really do trust the developers here. Like they've made my favorite games. So like I'm fully on board. I'm fully ready to immerse myself in it when it comes out later this year. But I guess that's my big takeaway, my big worry. I was certainly worried a little bit when we started the game and there was that sort of scripted jump scare sequence with the big Shabnak Adir shadow monster. I was sort of thinking, oh no, like what's happening with this here? This is a bit, you know, it reminded me of some horror games that I'd played that weren't great. But then we got into the meat of the dialogue and the environments and the discussions and all these mechanics, and, you know, I was fully on board again. Just that sort of fleeting moment that didn't speak to me personally, but then we were back in the world of Pathologic, and that was it all landed for me then, really. Yeah, Knockout Lindo, yeah, like it was the weakest bit. It felt like just any other sort of regular, you know, indie horror game, I guess, where you do have big monster, where you do have like a flashlight mechanic or whatever, and where you do have these really weak scripted jump scares. Yeah, like I really hugely enjoyed this. Double check to make sure this was actually a Pathologic stream and the jump scare happened. Yeah. Midler7, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed my inane ramblings and my blind first experience of Pathologic 3. Wish there weren't so many placebo dialogue options. I think that's the worry for me. Windshield. I don't so much mind the placebo dialogue options. I think just because I've sort of been primed through many video games to just accept that as a fact of life. But yeah, there are quite a lot of times in this game in particular, you notice, right, when you say something, the character just continues as if they didn't hear what you said. But it's Pathologic, and I'm willing to accept that because that happens a lot in all of the games. But yeah, I do sort of wish that somehow they could plot this incredible dialogue tree all the way through and have, you know, hundreds and hundreds of different conversations. But realistically, that's not possible for a team of this size that's been through so much. So I'm really curious to see how a team of this size carries out the mechanics, I think. How did Pathologic 1 get around not having that many placebo dialogues? Well, I mean, there you sort of have often, like, dialogue doesn't branch that much. Like, if it did branch, you sort of get one extra branch and then it shunts you back into the main bit of dialogue. I think perhaps the illusion might have been slightly better at some points in Pathologic 1, but having just finished playing it through again, I can tell you it was still the case that you could say something and the person would sort of continue as though you hadn't said exactly what you'd said. it's, yeah, possibly not as prevalent there, because maybe the dialogue trees were like one step deeper, but they would still take you back. Like, you would still end a conversation in exactly the same way. You just get like an extra question. Like, it doesn't branch as you think it does in Pathologic 1. It just sort of takes a little detour and then takes you back to the main bit of the tree. So it doesn't really look like a dialogue tree. It's just got tiny little offshoots that curl back around. And I agree, wish pressing U's on trash cans actually said kick, and it would move the trash can a bit. It was a little tricky. It definitely still sounds better, so I mean, I'm hoping that they do that they do manage to include some sort of deeper options. But I was just impressed by the level of quality that was on display here, really. I feel like those kinds of dialogue options are also an attempt at conveying to the player what the character's full thoughts are, oftentimes. Yes, I think Disco Elysium had a good approach to that kind of thing, but Disco Elysium also wasn't a first-person horror, absolutely. But yeah, that's always been my sort of stance towards defending those kind of dialogue options, because it allows the player to sort of role play in the character's shoes, even if the character you're talking to doesn't necessarily respond verbally. You've at least sort of asserted your own personality within the bounds of the conversation, or sort of made clear your own thoughts. And of course, it would be great if dialogue could do that all the time, could actually respond to you exactly. But then we wouldn't have wonderfully written dialogue with like precise prose and carefully considered, words. So I really think, it's such a difficult thing. Dialogue is really hard to write. Deleting the sun to incoming. Time to break the game and explore out of bounds. Perhaps another day. That was a lot of talking, and I can hear my still slightly ill voice starting to give out. So that might be me for today, but for a game without a jump button, there's a few spots where it's hilariously easy to just walk out. I'm going to have to try that sometime, and who knows, I might do another run through of Pathologic 3. But I think next plan is to go back to Pathologic 2 and finally stream that, which will be really weird. I will be able to see that all of my assumptions about there being water inside houses will be incorrect, and I've totally misremembered it. But I'm really excited to play that again. I'm really excited to see what becomes of Pathologic 3 when it does release. If anyone who's watching this hasn't played the demo, highly recommend giving it a go. I'm sure the developers would love to hear your thoughts. That's what I'm going to do now. Let's fill out a wee survey. Waterless any % soon. That's the goal. Yeah. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed this. So thank you to everyone for watching, for indulging, and yeah, I just wish I hadn't sort of had to restrain myself from playing this. It's been really hard because I wanted to play this through blind, so it was on stream. So it was lovely to do that on stream, totally blind, and for you to sort of get my initial impressions of the game. Totally blind, which doesn't happen with the other Pathologic games or with any of their other games. So it was nice finally to do that, and now I can go home and play it over and over again. Just sort of by myself offline and pick it to bits, and who knows? Yeah, maybe do a little video on it. Definitely be watching the VOD for this. Excellent. Give me some more views, thank you. Yeah, my attention's been thoroughly piqued. I'm glad. Thank you everyone for watching. I should be off now. I need to give my voice a little bit of rest. But once again, thank you. Seriously, it means a lot to me. I'm going to be releasing a new video on another character analysis, hopefully very soon. So stay tuned for that, and I will see everyone possibly later this week for another stream. But stay safe. Have a good one.